Kirby's Creepy Yarn. I'm just like any other Kirby fan out there. I've played the game since the first one on the NES was new, but one experience alone with still scarce and haunts me to this day. I just got my second-gen Black Nintendo Wii. I decided to get a few games for it since all I had was this memorable Wii. Kirby's Epic Yarn came out about 4 days ago, so I decided to add a copy. I'm not rich. I'll check what's cheapest. It didn't come through, so I grabbed my case and my wallet containing $6. When I got there, the place already seemed to be open and full of a lot of people. I decided to wait the game rush out. After what seemed like hours, the wave of people finally disappeared. I walked in. I saw that more than half on the selection of Wii PS3, 360 games were gone. Of Wii PS3, 316 games were gone. I walked into the counter to reader and play at the register. For some reason though, I had a strange feeling as I walked into him. A kind of odd ancient mind you. The man at the counter asked me if I'm looking for something. I explained that I had ordered a copy of the game. He told me that the rush of people in here early were mostly after weekends, and unfortunately most went for Epic Yarn. Epic Yarn. He then told me that there was one copy of the game that didn't sell. I was confused as to why one single copy wasn't sold, but further asked him to show me the CD case for it. He nodded and showed me the case. As soon as I saw it, is when I got that feeling again. It wasn't a standard GameStop game because the day is when someone trades just a game and no casing. But what bugged me is that the part where the title, Kirby's Epic Yarn in this case, is supposed to be Lexus Scratch and Crafted. And all that's written is that the title is Kirby. It's at this point when I started to get a sensitive feel of worry. I then asked him if someone had tried it in. He explained that the man that looked to be in his 60s or 70s proved it in. He told me that the guy was just trying to pull one, or he was not right in the head. That just sounds out of place. Who would buy something brand new and turn the next day? I asked him if he knew where the old man was, but he told me that just moments after trading the game in, the old man died of heart failure. I then asked him if he had related the man's name. He told me that he knew, but could not reveal customer information. I respect that. Regardless, I want to buy it. He asked him for only $20. I felt that was quite a low price for such a new game. But whatever I bought the game and right before I left. I couldn't help it but to tell him my name. He told me his name is Henry. I then walked out the door to my car as it starts to rain. As I stop at the red light, I decide to open the case so I can look at the game. I might not be an expert, but the disc I saw wasn't an official disc. It looked like a bootleg. It was a plain white disc when the word Kirby rather poorly across the top. After all, my best friend did have a copy of the game. I mean, you feel that they did notice something like this, right? When I got home, I went up to my room and put the disc in the Wii. I waited patiently for the game to load. It took about 8 minutes for the game to appear. When it did, the preview picture looked incredibly glitchy, showing broken textures, misplaced letters, etc. I figured it was just temporary. I proceeded to press the start option on screen. As soon as I do, the screen flashes red for a split second. Now I was still unsure about playing this when I got it, but it was when the Nintendo logo screen appeared, was when I got the odd itch again, only this time stronger. The word Nintendo and the famous ovalish border around it were heavily deformed and rusted looking, and to top it all off, the logo's colored was slowly dripping down to the bottom of the screen, much like Mortal Kombat choose the fatality blood drip animation. Then the title screen finally appeared, showing only Kirby. but that was it, no other words on screen. The hills of Patchland were there, but what was out of the ordinary is that they had crimson-colored lawns spotted all over them, kind of like blood stains. I pressed start and was immediately booted to the beginning of the game. No menu. It appeared to be the first level on the first piece of Patchland. I played instead of getting almost everything. I completed the entire first piece of Patchland and unlocked the second piece, known as Grasslands. When I arrived, what I saw Joe droppingly arriving, I couldn't see what seemed like endless amounts of bodies of Patchland residents in pedal spikes. In the foreground and background, dripping out more of the young blood. The sky wasn't the usually bright happy sunny sky. It was dark, cloudy, and rain, and not blood, just normal thunderstorm rain, and the passage like it. But the nail that sealed the fucking coffin for this sadistic place was the music. It was still the Grasslands theme, but played slowly in reverse, almost demonic in nature, which can be found here. I went to the first level on this place. Link to YouTube. I went to the first level on this place. When I got to the party where you get to use tank Kirby, it's when I got really warned. Every time I shot and hit enemies with Kirby's mouth cannon, they would explode like normal, but instead of the long gently floating donuts, they would spew unrealistic amounts of young blood everywhere. Even some of the young blood was jumbled together, kind of like it resembled guts, but made of yarn. I got to the end of the level, and upon beating, I was sent back to the first piece of Patchland. I stayed a little while. I went to the fabric shop to see if they had anything worth buying. When I talked to the fabric shop guy, he said, "No, get away from me." That gave me a pinching feeling. Only two fabrics were listed, both unnamed. They looked creepy for a kid's game. One had a knitted title skull pattern, but what made it creepy was that skulls had solid black eye sockets, and in the middle of every socket were dark red purples with blood drips below, as well as the skulls behind quaked all over, and having a few bloodstains here and there. The other looked like an indescribable, incredibly rich mess, with random colors, and different sprites and textures for enemies in place. I then decided to go to the furniture shop. As I exited the fabric shop, the fabric guy said, "Get away, get away!" I found that to be weird, shaking it off. I went to the furniture shop. The furniture guy gave me no reading whatsoever, just a blank speech bubble. Upon entering the furniture shop, I once again was reading with creepy furniture. There was a couch, a wall lamp, and a knitting without a thumbnail. I got a ditchy feeling of suspicion again, only it was stronger. The couch was scratched and bloodstained. The wall lamp's shade was partially ripped and broken, and the hidden without a thumbnail. Well, you got me there, but my curiosity got the better of me. So I ended up buying the mysterious thumbnail-less item. Upon doing so, I supposed to get a sure, yes, no thing. But instead, I was given another blank speech bubble, still with the yes, no. I selected yes. When I did, the clerk presented me with yet another blank speech bubble. I went to my little Patchland room and went into that mode again. Without thinking twice, I selected the icon less hidden to place on the wall to see what it was. When I saw scared the shit out of me, it was a young Kirby, but with solid black, erased and red eyes, and the most ominous, inhuman crimson and bloody rain every made. I quickly removed it from the wall and checked to see if it was still in my furniture menu. To my shock and dreaded horror, it was completely gone, as if I never buffed in. I decided to go to Grassland. I read the young blood stained signs by the levels. Once in wait. Leave now. Another wait. Turn back. At this point I was wondering about playing anymore, but continued nevertheless. But when I went to the next level over from the previously bit 1, I wasn't expecting to boot it back to the way home. I was confused as to why this had happened, but proceeded to boot the game back up. I was greeted by the same disturbing stuff as before, but when I selected the level from grassland that quickly me to the way home, the level actually loaded. The level luckily guessed it, just like the main part of grasslands. Dark cloudy skies with a thunderstorm, a crystal line for bloody city or a blue one for water. When I beat this level, I was shown the cutscene of grasslands connected to the southern piece of patchland rivers, with the ambience getting louder and more demonic. Then near the end of the scene, special bubbles flashing the screen. Special bubbles like murderer, lead the deaths, and how could you? This went on for several minutes, but just as it was ending, the demonic young blood Kirby flashing on screen with a loud, and I mean loud, ear-piercing version of what sounded like Kirby screaming. I suddenly awoke, lying on my best friend's couch, with Kirby's epic yawn on screen. I never played a single Kirby game ever again. I learned the truth about him. He is an evil creature. The Kirby came out with red eyes. I hid in my closet. I do not know how much time I've left. Oh God. He's here.